you're very rarely going to hear me say this. Somebody needs to answer for the crimes of those bad ass officials.
Oh my God, dude.
I mean, come on. It was like, that would make this game more exciting if there was a flag.
Yeah.
And then the flag would come out.
Nonsense on both sides. And then on the other side, they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to Tyreek Hill, allowed to do whatever they wanted to Jalen Waddle.
Well, that is going to be the game plan from here on out. And they saw, if we want you to see one team have success doing it, then everybody's going to try to do it. You don't necessarily have the talent to do that, but they're going to try to be physical with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That's just the nature of football, that once you see something that works, if you have the ability to do it, you're also going to try to do that.
Yeah, okay. And you want to know something, dude? How about the officials get together and realize what's legal and what's not legal?
No, I started off by saying, wow. Like, such a good game to be made garbage, or to just, I don't think, look, Buffalo's glad they won, but I bet you Buffalo fans were frustrated too. It was just, come on, man.
Frustrated by what? The fact that they could assault our players with snowballs with no repercussions? What were they frustrated with? I would love to know.
They called the TV. They had to stop the game.
Yeah, I would love to know. And by the way, they never stopped. So I would love to know, what exactly would they be upset with? Was it because they got to actually be a 12th man and pelt the Miami Dolphins players?
Is that
grow up, Peter Pan? Who are you people? Jumping through tables, throwing snowballs like you're 8 years old.
You know what? Guess what, folks? You guys turn on the Weather Channel and you listen to your local forecasters, right? They're garbage. Go out and do what I do. Throw up some grass, get a feel for the wind, and look for clouds and snow, right? Because the way we were told all the way up until Friday, was that it was going to be a blizzard.
Yep.
With winds blowing sideways at 20 to 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, lake effects, dude.
And it was nothing.
And in fact, for 2 drives, it was something.
And guess what? And Tua was fine.
He was fine.
And I hate. Here's what it's going to be. So next year, or if they have to go back up and play in the cold, you know what it's going to be. Oh, Tua can't play in the. Stop it.
I was annoyed by that graphic that came out afterwards. It was 0-4 under 50-degree weather games.
Right. That game is going to go on a statistic.
Mm-hmm.
With nobody watching that game. They're just going to throw up that stat.
I mean, I suppose stats are stats, but he played. He had nothing. Like, the weather didn't affect him at all.
Stop.
Didn't affect him at all. Now, the idea to go against the run, like why they stopped doing that was a little bit weird, because Mostert, dude. Mostert was like,
it was going to be.
We really thought it was going to be Jeff Wilson. Mostert was the most unstoppable player on that field.
Right.
Other than Josh Allen.
Right. No, it was amazing. And when I saw them run the ball, I'm like, oh, got something here. We got something here. But yeah, they
ran it 3 times in the fourth quarter. Like, every time with the third and shorts, they're like doing the. I get it. Like, it's worked for him, but like,
but that's just it. Like, are we really gonna sit here and question the plays that Mike McDaniel runs when we've been so satisfied before? Yeah, maybe we would have did something different, right? Maybe I would have tried to run the football.
But that's what
absolutely.
But the thing that's weird about that's his bag. Like, he's a run guy,
right? It's a weird dynamic. I don't know if I would have did what he did, but I'm not going to question what he did, because we've been happy with what he's done all year. So that's kind of you got to live with that.
You know what Socrates would say to that? He got too cute.
Perhaps.
Got too cute.
Perhaps.
That's what Socrates would say.
Perhaps. I wonder if somebody questioned him about it. I'd be curious to say, hey, you're gashing him. Why are we throwing little 2-yard passes?
I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get it. But like, look, they hung. It was a neck and neck game. It was a great game.
Great game.
It was a great game. each team like had their moments. Each team came up with big plays. The only part where I got nervous, to be honest with you, when Jalen Phillips gets that fumble, I'm like, oh, and they settled for 3, and I was like,
yeah,
that was the one.
That to me, I was like, that you have to kill them.
Right, you have to be you have to be double digits.
Football wise, of course.
You have to
kill them.
You have to be up double digits against that team to make it as uncomfortable as possible.
So it's nice going up, getting the whole 8-point lead. That was nice.
Right.
But I really felt like, man, if you had Jalen Phillips getting that play the biggest time, and Josh Allen was shook at that point. He was loosey-goosey,
with the
willy-nilly with the football.
Oh, my goodness.
I still don't think he got that 2-point conversion. He hit a Landon Roberts' head. He did not hit the goal line. We needed to change that rule. But anyway, I really thought as soon as they settled for 3 there, I was like,
So my question is this. You have 2 levels here, or 2 sides here. The one is the way I feel, that I do believe that this Dolphins team can compete with anybody in the NFL. I've seen it.
Yep.
I've watched it for a number of weeks, and they've had ups and downs just like everybody else. That's fine. But I've seen on a number of occasions they can compete with anyone in the NFL. Versus the jilted Dolphins fan who says, "Oh, it's December, here we go again."
It's both. I mean, like, I think the thing that's disappointing, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like when we're frustrated with the Heat losing to the Pistons. And I know that the Niners and Chargers are better teams, but like the effort that they came out with in this game compared to those games, that's what's confusing. And even McDaniel said that after the game. He goes, man, if we would have had this the last 2 weeks, I don't think we're in a 3-game losing streak right now. And
that's sports though, man.
I know, but that's
you
what's
can't
frustrating.
Explain that. We do the same thing with the Heat. Like the Heat are one of the few teams can make 16 3-pointers in the first half and then score 9 points in the third quarter. Right? Like your mind's blown at how can a team look so good and then look so bad a week later? That's it. But it's sports. That's why you play so many games, because you would hope that over the 18-week season that all these things are weeded out and you can get the best teams.
But not to assume, but I feel like if this team is this team for the next 3 weeks, they're better than all 3 of these teams are taking on.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. At 100%.
So you should be good. Should be good.
Yeah.
But that, that there definitely is a fan. There's a level of the fan base that's got that in the back of their head. They're like,
right.
You don't want that. They're like, Marcos, and the next 3 weeks, or are you confident? Are you boldly confident?
So I agree with you. If we play the same way we did, I know it wasn't good enough for the Bills, but we could definitely beat those 3 teams. But as you were talking, I did just go Google the Patriots and the Jets records, because I know that that's going to be much more crucial than we wanted it to be at the end of this year.
Oh, listen, the Dolphins got a couple of breaks yesterday, because it could have been a lot. We could have been a lot more squeamish here, but thankfully, McCorkle, I mean, to see him get run over.
Hey, woo! So one of the things that's amazing to me, it's not the questions towards Bill Belichick, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's you lost because nobody could tackle.
What? Yeah.
Why? Why
did he do that? Why did he just give the football up like that?
I mean, I don't know.
Like, there has to be a part of you that feels like
I'm trying to figure out. First of all,
Jacoby Myers has to think to himself. He goes, "Oh, like he thinks something's good's going to come out of him. I got this run. Oh no, they're going to catch me. Let me pitch it." But only bad stuff can happen there.
Yeah.
What's the best case scenario pitching it?
I don't know.
Mac Jones.
I don't know.
But wait, here's the worst part is that when you get in those situations, right? Because we have like every Friday we do some kind of version of that where we have to do laterals and score. Here's the problem. That when you start lateraling the ball, you're just looking at color. The same color jersey. So you could be thrown into an offensive lineman. You could be thrown into a tight end, a quarterback. So you just look like, oh, don't get tackled. And you just throw it in the vicinity of it. Like you never in your wildest dreams think that this is something that can happen.
The Patriots call was they played it on SportsCenter this morning, and it was what's his face? Who's the dude? Zolak.
Oh,
he goes, "This has to be the dumbest Patriots team I have ever seen."
like it, all right, man. Like I'm not no. Like it's just you can have a stupid play. It doesn't mean you're stupid, right?
No.
And so for him to go,
Zolak was a quarterback.
right, okay, he's never had any of those, right? Like I just like I've had boneheaded plays. Like it happens. It's torture. What are we doing?
I keep watching it, and I'm just wildly confused.
So what? So here we go. Here we go. Look, it's not even wait!
No,
This is not soccer! This is not soccer! What are you doing?
I could watch.
Wait. First of all, why was the receiver throwing it back like he was kicking it back to the goalie?
It's the flea flicker, dude.
What was he thinking, dude?
Look at him. That's the look you should have. What did I do?
Shame, shame, shame.
Taylor Jones, none other.
I know. That has to feel good for him. Little revenge game, little sweetener.
Oh my goodness. So, like,
that's
put it
good.
this way.
That made my weekend better.
Every week when we watch tape on Monday, there's always a boneheaded play. Right? Like whether you see, I remember one time I told you guys I hit my own guy on a interception.
Yep.
We've seen guys just do it. It's gonna happen to you. I mean, how about this weekend? I was watching a little college football. Quarterback ran out of the back of the end zone. They call it the Orlovsky now.
Wow.
That's what they call it. So, I'm like,
It says Jones can't tackle my dead grandmother. That was tough, dude.
I mean, he's a quarterback.
I
If he has
know.
to make a tackle, you're
I know.
If think about it this way. If your game is going to be decided by whether Mac Jones can make a tackle, then just start
I
heading
think if
for
I'm
the
Mac
game.
Jones, I'd rather whiff than be run over like that.
I mean, is it any different? Was it any worse than Gronk? Gronk never touched him. He just folded.
Wow.
But again, so like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where you think you can make something happen,
Mm-hmm.
and in your mind, that's not even a possibility. You just like, hey, we just throw it around until we get caught, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you start going, one of the first things I ever learned in football was, let's never throw a pass towards our own end zone, right? Nothing good can happen.
Nothing.
So
I mean, like, listen, Jacoby, like they already took the ball out of Mac Jones's hand. They didn't want. He handed the ball off. Clearly, he wasn't going to throw it down the field.
So, and your idea was to get it back to him in the same spot. So maybe a second chance he would throw it, right? Like,
this was the plan all along. It's like, no, Belichick would have given him the chance the first time around.
I mean, and then, oh my goodness, it was like, first of all, why did the receiver start coming back towards his own end zone?
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, hey, what's the guy's name?
The Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, Jacoby. To win the game, we need to go that way. Like, wow.
That's fine.
Oh,
you got hair on that.
On
dude.
this
No.
carpet?
Carpet's a risk. Carpet's a risk.
it was an old one.
Oh, that's foul.
wasn't even crunch.
That's
That's probably one of yours from last week or maybe like 2 weeks ago.
I'm so disappointed.
You got played by yourself.
-1.
It went. And like and there was 3 of them. I went crunch, crunch, mush.
Oh no.
So disgusting. I think I need to take a shower.
Guys says, y'all talk about Tua all the time. You guys can text us at 305-567-0560. Y'all talk about Tua all the time on the Ken Toilet text line. When are you going to call it the defense and the defensive coordinator?
Here's what I would say about that. The one thing that does bother me about the defense, they'll play 10 excellent plays and then give up a 40-yarder.
I know.
And
typically on 3rd and long.
Right. And so I'm not going to get on the defense too much because that offense is really good. But I will say this. I think schematically, when they get into those 3rd and long situations, I think they may be playing a little bit too soft. Right. And so what they're doing is as a running back, I don't care necessarily about how far I can go. I care about that first wave of pressure. So if you back up and play soft and give me that, and I can get a head of steam going, like I never have a problem with that. It's kind of like watching the old run and shoot and watching the running back and the run and shoot. They're defending the pass. They're not defending you.
I think the ones that are frustrating is they've done this now with every good running quarterback, is that there's been a game-breaking play, whether it be Lamar, whether it be Justin Fields, or whether it be Josh Allen. They always have a 50-yard run.
Right. At some point during the game.
That can really like swing the game. And this one was obviously a backbreaker.
Can I tell you what the worst position in football is?
Do tell.
And I want you to, and every time I hear it on TV, every time I hear a coach say it, I want to go kick him in the junk.
Wow.
The single-handed worst defense is spy. You're going to take a guy and spy on the quarterback that you already think of as a running threat, and you're going to put him 5 or 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. How in the hell is he ever going to tackle that guy who has 50 yards to run?
Yeah, and this guy's a moose,
and it
too.
never happens. Every time they go, there was a spy. He never seems to be in the play. It's nearly impossible to guard somebody that you consider a running threat with one guy. So why do it? You might as well blitz him.
He's a fascinating player in that, like, he does some boneheaded stuff and he'll have some throws. I mean, like, look, Stephon Diggs was losing his mind on the sidelines.
Right.
He was not happy with the game Josh Allen was playing, but Josh Allen came up with some of like these physically jaw-dropping plays where you think you have him. You think you have him dead to rights. And he's just slinging the ball on the run and is nailing somebody.
Well, he said Holland had a good spy play. Yeah, it works. But just big picture, very rarely when you have a running quarterback, having a spy is going to stop them from being able to run the football. You might make a play or two, but if you miss, there's nobody around. So I just think you have to come up with a better plan when it comes to I think that's what they need. They need to come up with a better scheme to play against a running quarterback. Because like you said, once a game, a quarterback goes for 40, 50 yards.
The elite runners in this league have really gashed them this year.
Right. So I don't know how you go about it.
Well, thankfully, they don't play one of those the rest of the way these last 3 games because they're taking on Aaron Rodgers, who was at one time a good running quarterback, but he's old.
So they play him here. So what they need to do is like when he comes onto the field, now introducing Aaron Rodgers, everybody needs to go. So he goes into his happy place.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
They're terrible.
Get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. Wait.
What? What?
Are we still gonna trash your boys?
Let me tell you something.
No.
Let me tell you.
Can't deny them.
I may have to answer for my crimes.
Okay, thank you. Because guess what?
I may have to answer.
Dude's been balling.
He looked amazing yesterday. He looks really good with that hair.
Wait.
I may have to answer for my crimes.
Okay, thank you.
I may have to.
Thank you.
Get a winning record.
Oh, okay.
But he looks really good.
You know what? We need to do it. -1 for caveats.
-1
That was an epic loss too.
for
Oh,
show poniness.
That was no, but Trevor Lawrence looks amazing. I mean, he looks really good.
Okay.
I didn't see this last year.
We can say the same thing about a lot of quarterbacks. Josh Allen had 2 years where everybody called him terrible.
I didn't know. The thing was weird. Like you just never saw, even with Josh Allen, like he had the big arm. Like you didn't see him unleash some of these. He's uncorking some crazy throws.
He's
Trevor
throwing
Lawrence.
balls in pockets, and that ball is booming.
I may have to answer for my crimes.
All right.
I'm getting.
That's all-
By the way, I'm being told by Maida, who's a resident Jags fan. He keeps me in check because he goes, don't think I forget. I'm his Chris Sims.
Hey,
Which
again,
I do want to
I've
point out
been begging
also.
you. I've been begging you
Mhm.
all year
Mhm.
to get back on the boat.
By the way, Chris Sims had Zach Wilson better than Trevor Lawrence 2 years in a row. Just for the record, even Jacksonville can tell him to go to hell.
Hey, Trevor Lawrence just said, at least I could tackle.
Dude, that game yesterday, that France Argentina, whew.
It was 2-0. I was like, oh, Messi's finally going to get one.
Mhm.
Not so fast.
That's what I tuned in for because I was like, oh yeah, that's going on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, 2-0, Messi's gonna win. And then some Mbappe just comes in. Woo!
He's really
balling.
good. He is really good.
Couple goals. I see why people like this soccer.
Yeah.
You put the stakes of the world on it. Pretty good.
Oh,
The stakes
which
of the world.
reminds me. I almost crashed on the way in.
Hmm?
I was trying to take a picture. Somebody in their car had Argentina champions. CHAMPEONS. And I'm like,
So they didn't spell campeón. Are you sure that there wasn't an H in there?
it was H.
Okay.
So I'm like,
You sure there was an H in there?
positive.
Okay. Because if there wasn't an H, that's that's campeón. That's in Espanol. I'm just making sure.
Positive.
Okay. Well,
Positive.
maybe he was blending it.
I don't know.
J-Fig was heated about that soccer yesterday.
I had someone
Wait.
explain this to me yesterday.
Wait. So I'm trying to figure out. Usually, after a game like Saturday, and then watching football yesterday, right? Usually somebody's coming in hot.
Yep.
I said, and then I'm like, it was J-Fig coming in hot.
She was
She
fired up.
was fired up. I'm like, what has happened?
What did you have like action on the game? Like what the hell
Right?
happened?
You know, without knowing, I know it has something to do with how annoying Argentinians are. It has
Honestly,
to.
that was in the back of my head. It wasn't even that. I don't watch soccer. I don't follow soccer. I don't really know much. I used to help my brother when he was younger. Then he switched to basketball and I forgot it. So I was very confused. So I woke up and the game was already on. I was like at 80 something minutes and I would like go back and forth from the television and whatever, it was fine. Like it looked like a really good game. It was 3-3. And then they had to do the whole shootout situation, whatever, the penalties. And then so Argentina first goes and they score. And you see, it just looks so easy for them to score.
Oh, you think the penalty kicks are stupid? A lot of people do.
No, it just didn't. It looked like it was so fixed. It looks like they were like, you know what?
So you think
Let's give it to
they
them.
gave it to Messi?
Yes.
Wow.
And you know what? Congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm not a hater. He deserves it,
One of
right?
the pinks, maybe.
Sure, whatever. But it just looks so easy for them to score.
Wow.
And then whenever France came, it was like, nope, we're not letting this ball pass it.
And so you just think that Argentina, you didn't feel they legitimately won the PKs. You thought it looked too easy for them, so it had to be fixed.
Yeah.
Because you were annoyed by Argentina.
So
No, it wasn't even that. It was just like I was looking, and then Argentina went to kick, and the goalie was just there.
Just sitting there.
Just there. And then out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but like, they went to go kick, and the goalie was over here, and the ball was straight up over there.
Yeah, because you kind of have to guess. Like that's how
Exactly.
that's how it
what
goes.
they were
Wasn't there?
explaining to me.
Yeah, don't like some goalies, they'll even line up over to the side, so like they think you'll definitely go to the other side, so they'll know. So basically, you'll give them majority of the side, but that way they know they have to dive that way.
yeah, I mean, look, it's penalty kicks. It's a crap
That's
shoot.
what they were explaining to me. But when it came to France,
Entertaining game though.
yeah.
Entertaining game.
I mean, when it was
Props
2-2,
to soccer.
when it
Why
was
would they do that?
when it was 2-2, right? Action picked up.
Of course.
But I will say this: the French coach,
Mhm.
like they were saying when I was watching the match, that you very rarely substitute in the first half. He damn near switched the whole team. He switched a lot of guys. So
we'll take a quick break. If you guys want to see the Heat during the
Ooh,
holidays.
hold on. See that Marcos message?
No, what did he say?
We need to get to that.